This is 14 Minutes of Fame. I'm James Bradford.
And I'm Caroline Ritchie.
And today we have one of my partners in crime, Nick CRAGO. How you doing, Nick?
It's a good day, man.
All right, it is a good day. It's been a real busy day for the bike industry here on Hilton Head, isn't it?
For everyone here.
Memorial Day weekend.
Crazy. I'm so happy to be doing this podcast on a Friday. It's, we don't normally do it on Friday. It's more usually on a Wednesday.
No, we had a really crazy week this week, with everything going on with all the tourism, and then finishing up shooting our last installment of our last HHWheels episode. So it has been a crazy week for both of us.
Yeah, when we got back from doing that shoot, we just kind of unloaded the trucks and threw all the gear in here and just in a big pile and went home and crashed.
Dude, we were tired. We were beat. We did, in my opinion, a 3-day shoot in all of a day and a half. It was brutal.
Yeah, but it was fun. I think we all had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out the first episode of HHWheels, definitely check it out. Our second one will be coming out pretty soon here.
Well, I want to get into Nick CRAGO and what Nick CRAGO is all about a little bit. First off, we've known each other for a long, long time.
About 10, 11 years, something like that, yeah.
You're 24 now. I think when I first met you, your mother brought you in the shop with a baseball uniform on and said, "My son needs a job." And I said, "Okay, when can he start?"
No.
Something along those lines.
That was the first day you let me work.
Okay.
I'd come into the shop like 5 times, like, "Hey, with my mom, my son really wants to work here, can you give him a job?" You're like, "I don't babysit. Maybe I got a long list of kids waiting, but maybe just, check back." So we kept coming in, and that one day after a baseball game, you're like, "Can you start today?" And I was like, "Can I go eat lunch?" And you're like, "Yeah, come go eat, change, come back." And that's how it all started.
Caught me on the right day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. We obviously needed the floors swept or something in the shop, and I didn't feel like doing it.
Yep, sounds about right.
You can already tell their relationship by this, brief description of what's going on.
Well, we ended up doing quite a bit of stuff together over these past 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
Actually, before Caroline came around, you were pretty much my...
I was your Caroline?
You were... Well, I won't go Caroline.
I'm a lot cuter, okay?
Yeah, okay. But really, we did quite a few car trips and a lot of different things. And I could get into a lot of different stories, but one that really, really comes to mind is going to be the 1973 F100.
I remember that. That was my first old car. My first one-way flight to anywhere.
Oh, yeah. This was trains, planes, and automobiles. Literally. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it.
So, Nick comes to me with this... Craigslist was the thing. We all went on Craigslist and we were looking for cars. And he'd been on a few trips with me, and I was collecting cars without telling my wife or anybody, and basically picking up cars. And he was 17, 18 years old at the time. And I'd bring these things home, and finally he came to me and said, "I really want to get a car." And he's like, I found this truck up in Atlanta, but I want to go and get it and drive it home, because what we had been doing is watching Roadkill do this, and that we're big fans of Roadkill, obviously. And they always go and grab a car and drive it home. Well, I said, okay, let's do this. So we bought plane tickets. You were working for me. You had a little bit of money, a little bit of coin in your pocket. And we bought plane tickets and went to Atlanta. And we get to, where did we go? We got to Savannah and literally just made it on the airplane.
Oh, they stopped you because you brought a bag of tools. You left a pocket knife in the bag of tools that you forgot about. So TSA was like, "Sir, step to the side, please." And then you're like, "What?" And then they had to go through all your tools and find the one pocket knife. They're like, "We can mail it to you for $150. Like, it's a $20 knife. No, thank you." And then we got on the plane. We ran to the plane.
We just got on the plane
and took off right away.
Right. Made it. Went to Charlotte and to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Got there. Ended up getting a taxi into Atlanta, stayed in a pretty decent hotel downtown. Kind of your first road trip, real road trip. We've been like to Charleston and Savannah and down to Florida and a few road trips just in the car, but flying somewhere with no vehicle to get home and a one-way ticket was kind of an adventure.
Yeah.
Something I had never done either. And so we get there, we spend the night in Atlanta. The next day we have this guy set up. He's gonna actually pick us up and take us out in the middle of nowhere, Atlanta. Well, we have to ride a train. We get downtown Atlanta. We get on the what is it, a MARTA, or is it called the MARTA, or it's the train system that they have in Atlanta. Ride it 30 miles outside town. Wait at the bus stop there, and this guy pulls up in this purple.
There's a Ram 4-door 1500, like sparkly purple.
Sparkly purple. He has, I kid you not, a Santa Claus beard.
Sounds like Atlanta, dude.
This guy is big and chubby like Santa, stocky, and he's got a Santa Claus beard. And I Nick gets in the front. He's had the conversations with him over the phone. Nick gets in the front. I said, I'm getting in the back. I'm going to watch what's going on because this is kind of weird. And so I'm watching what's going on, and he's like, "Yeah, hey, I'm actually Santa." He's like, "Actually Santa Claus."
No, that's like also the first thing he said to either of us. Not hello, hey, how you guys doing today? Hi, my name's Santa Claus, and hands us a business card of him as Santa, like full dressed up. Like that was. Never met this guy, like don't know who he is, and he's driving a purple truck.
Yeah.
And like sparkly purple, not just like purple, but it was sketchy to say the least.
So is this the guy you guys bought the car from, or was this just some stepping stone in the path to getting this car?
No, this was literally the guy that was selling Nick the truck. I was just there to kind of witness and be protection, but I mean, really, like, look at me. I'm like.
Wait, so was it a straight six or V8? What was it?
It was a 302 that warped the frame on the Torino because it was so powerful that they had to put a 2-barrel carburetor intake on it.
That was his story?
You don't remember him saying that?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was. Huh. It was so powerful and torquey that it warped the frame on the Torino, allegedly.
It was the original motor for that truck.
Oh yeah, it was a 2-barrel stock Ford 302, like
gross.
Nothing special.
3 on a tree.
Really that at 17, 18, I'd never seen a car with 3 on the tree, and that was really cool trying because I'd driven stick. My first car was stick shift, and that it was cool. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, I love 3 on the trees. Those are so fun to drive. Well, we get out to this guy's. He drives us another 30 miles outside of town. So we're already on the outside of Atlanta. Driving another 30 miles in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you can definitely hear the banjos playing when we pulled up to this guy's house. I was like, oh, man. And I'm got my phone out, and I'm filming all this. And
Sounds like you.
I got to film this, If somebody, if we disappear, maybe somebody will find my phone or something. Because
there's a lot of thoughts going through our heads when we got on that truck.
The weeds were waist high, and we get there and we find a truck and he fires it up. It runs, and I'm like, okay, let's drive this thing. Nick's never driven a 3 on a tree, so I drive it, and I'm like, okay, the brakes suck, and we're going down these hills and up and down these hills. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we can get home with the brake system like it is. Not sure about the motor, but whatever. You make the deal. We end up buying like some other junk from him, like some motorcycle scraps.
Why did you go buy this of all the things to buy?
He wanted it.
It was cheap. And I was, 17, 18, had no money, and it was, I think he had it online for like $1,500, and then I got him down at $1,300, and the patina on it was killer.
I've seen it. It's not currently owned anymore by Nick, but a buddy of everybody's currently owns it.
Our buddy Miles is a
Which-
Marine now.
Which will definitely come up in a later episode when Miles comes back home. What are you working on now, though? Because I know you don't have that anymore.
My main project is a 77 Datsun pickup that I had a 302 in it. Of course, another Ford motor. But it was, oil in the water, water in the oil, whichever way you want to say it. And it was just trash. I thought it was a head gasket when me and James bought it. I can fix this in a day, and changed the head gaskets twice in my mom's driveway, and I was like 20, I think.
Yeah. That was our second big.
You've had the
trip, I think.
Datsun that long,
I've had a while, yeah.
and now you're working on a new motor for it, which is kind of funny because you acquired that motor from another buddy. Cars, motors, everything in that realm gets passed around through all of us at some point. Like the Torino went through James, then went through Nick, then now Chris has it. You bought a motor off of Jared. And Miles has your old truck.
Has my old truck.
And
yeah, we like to keep it in the family around here.
It just keeps going, yeah.
The motor's going to be badass. The one that you've built for this truck
What is it?
going to be incredible.
It's a Ford motor, replaced other Ford motor, but it's a 351 instead of 302, but it's been born stroke to 408 and forged rotating assembly. I've got aluminum heads for it, aftermarket heads, big hydraulic roller cam, and it's on a desktop dyno, should make 550, 500, so to the wheels, I'm hoping to get 450 to the wheels, but it's all forged, and I got the rings for nitrous, so if it doesn't quite make that, we can make it happen. So
it's a 2,000-pound truck.
Yeah.
with a 4 9-inch
You're
rear
gonna
end
put
in
some
it, and
sandbags or something in the back of that.
no, we're
Death trap.
drive
Death trap.
drive down a land speed, have Mike do a little ladder bar suspension or something,
Oh, man. Well, people might want to know if we made it home in the truck. I will tell you that we drove 55 miles an hour all the way home.
Well, you are here, aren't you? You live
We
to
made
tell the
it.
story.
I wanted to say we drove this truck 55 mile an hour all the way home. We stopped and got gas every 150 miles because the gas gauge didn't work. And we got it home. The next day, Nick is driving it to school. We drove it all the way home, no problems. Nick is driving it to school, and in 18-year-old fashion, he blows a tire
on the bridge.
on the bridge coming to school.
Going over the bridge, over the ocean. It's like, on my way for a final, senior year, one of my last classes, got to get a final for like a fifth of my grade for the year. Blow a tire, miss the class, get a 0.
Crazy times.
Life.
It is life, isn't it?
And then I showed up at the bike doctor after I changed the tire and worked for you for the rest of the day.
Yes. Well, it was.
I already missed my test. I didn't care,
Yeah, it was a good story then.
Yeah.
We made it work for you. I just couldn't believe the tire blew, and I just swore that you were out there doing burnouts, in it or something, and you're like, no, it was the front tire. I'm like, holy crap, it didn't do it. We drove that thing 300 miles home. It's crazy. Okay, so we got into your next project, which is the Datsun.
Mm-hmm.
I went with you to pick that up.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. And then we did, I think you at the time had another hot rod, though.
The Camaro?
So why don't we get into the Camaro real quick, because we only have, this is kind of our last little bit. Are we running short?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're running out of time.
So we're going to run out of time. Let's get into Camaro real quick, because really your nickname is the Camaro Kid. A lot of people don't know this, but Nick Crago's nickname is the Camaro Kid. Okay.
James's nickname for me is the Camaro Kid.
The Camaro Kid.
I'm pretty
A
sure
lot of
Rudy's got that in his phone, too.
Yeah, and a lot of people call you Camaro Kid. Okay, Nick had this 1974.
1970 ugly.
It was
was
the
ugly.
year they changed the bumpers and the front end to make it not so attractive.
You had a front
original
fender.
Z28.
It was
4-speed
Z28
car.
Yep.
You got a front fender that was half painted black and half fiberglass still.
It wasn't fire. You could
It
see.
was like a weird yellowish color.
Oh no, that was when I blew a tire going to work at the car dealership.
Oh boy.
And the tire ripped apart and tore the whole front valence off of it.
Let's just get into the craziest thing you've ever done in that car, just so people get an idea of how crazy you are or were.
Yeah, I've gotten better. I mean, dude.
No, you haven't.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't had a car in a while, so that's probably why.
We literally use the reference, don't drive like CRAGO, or don't do a CRAGO in that car, or whatever it may be.
Don't get CRAGO'd.
Don't drive it like CRAGO.
I mean, the craziest thing though, like I went 130 miles an hour in that car, which was really fun at 20 years old, but looking back at it, really stupid.
Yeah.
Because like once it hit like 90, 95, the whole front end started to pick up, and it was.
The shocks were original.
Oh, I put as little money into that car as I could, other than blowing up the motor and building a new motor.
The suspension on this thing was terrible.
Every time I gas it, the whole thing would freaking look like it was trying to do a wheelie, but it was just the suspension working because it was so worn out.
Terrible.
But yeah, 130 miles in that. I blew out a front tire on my way to work racing a little Volkswagen. Almost went off into the median going like 80.
Oh, that's
Sounds like
I got pulled over on 278 going 90 miles an hour in a 40, which is a 45. Didn't get a ticket. The cop said this would be a really bad first ticket to get, so I'm not gonna give it to you, because it would. He was like, if you got any ticket after this,
yeah,
you're gonna lose your license for 5 years. And after that, that calmed me down. Like, I will say that put me in my place a little bit for sure.
Sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then.
You still drive like a nut. And nothing has changed. But I'm sure everybody will see a lot more of that as we go on with HHWheels and podcasts and everything else, because I'm sure we're going to feature the Datsun at some point when it does get finished.
Yeah, once that thing's run, I'll be doing burnouts.
Well, thanks for all your help on HHWheels also, our episode with the Rot Runner. I know that you helped a little bit. You helped as much as you could because you've been busy with your own company.
Yep.
And
Cross Island Cruisers.
And I'm real proud of you doing that, man. You've been doing it 4 years now?
Yeah, this will be my fourth summer.
Yeah, so really good, nice, successful business, just keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for your participation for sure. It's kind of helped out.
And thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
All right, we'll probably have you on again someday.
I'm sure. We got plenty of stories.
Lots of stories to talk about.
And thank you for listening to 14 Minutes of Fame. Feel free to leave a comment and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have an email now. It's HHW14minutesOfFame@gmail.com. Feel free to send us a question or pictures of your cars or anything you think would be humorous to put on the show, and we'll send you a free t-shirt. Also attach your size and your address to that as well, and we'll save that for another podcast.
Sweet.